Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome to today's English lesson with me by Gentle Eyes as your tutor today. We're going to explore something that will make your English speaking and writing so much better. Have you ever been confused about when to say a book versus some water? Or maybe you've asked yourself, why can I count apples but not a rice? Well, don't worry, today we're going to clear it all up. Our topic is countable and uncountable nouns, and trust me, this is something you use every single day in English, whether you realize it or not. This lesson is part of our grammar focus for junior high school students, and it's going to help you understand how to use noun correctly in real conversation, schoolwork, or even when writing story or essay. So grab your notes, stay focused, and let's dive into the word of nouns together. Are you ready, guys? Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's begin our lesson with something very simple but very important. It's about nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are words we use to name things. This can be people, like teacher or student. They can be places like school or market. They can also be things like book or rice. And nouns can also name ideas or feelings like advice or happiness. In English, we divide nouns into two groups, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Knowing the difference between them is very important because it helps us use the correct articles like a or an, the correct quantity word like much and many, and help us make grammatically correct sentences. Now let's talk about countable nouns. What are they? Countable nouns are nouns that you can count one by one. For example, one apple, two apples, three apples. You can count them. These nouns usually have singular and plural forms. One chair, two chairs. You can use numbers with them, like three books, five eggs, and you can also use a or an when you are talking about just one item. For example, an egg, a tomato, a chair. These are singular forms. When we have more than one, we say eggs, tomatoes, chairs. These are plural forms. Let's look at some example sentences using countable nouns. First one is I ate 2 eggs this morning. Eggs can be counted. The next, she has a sandwich and an apple. Both are single item and can be counted. Next, there are many books on the table. The word books is countable. He bought a few tomatoes at the market. Tomatoes is the plural form. And next, we invited several guests to the party. Guests is a countable noun. So for the next, let's talk about uncountable nouns. These are nouns that cannot be counted one by one. We usually use uncountable nouns to talk about liquid, like milk or water, ingredients like sugar, rice, flour, or abstract things like information, advice, or mass object like furniture and traffic. You cannot say 2 milks or 3 advices. That will be incorrect. And here are some characteristics of uncountable nouns. First, you cannot use numbers directly with them. For example, 2 milks is not correct. Next, you cannot use a or an saying a sugar is wrong. And then they don't have plural forms. Sugars or informations is not correct. But you can use measurements phrases to talk about them. For example, a glass of water, a piece of advice, or a bowl of rice. And now let's say some example sentence using uncountable nouns. First, she drinks a lot of milk every day. Milk is a liquid, so it's uncountable. Next, we don't have much rice left. Rice cannot be counted one by one. Next, I need some information about the school event. Information is an idea, so it's uncountable. Next, he gave me a piece of advice. We cannot say an advice, so we use a piece of advice. There is a little sugar in the jar. Again, sugar is uncountable. So what's the difference between countable and uncountable nouns? Let's compare. Countable nouns can be counted. 1 book, 2 books. Uncountable nouns cannot. We don't say 2 sugars. Countable nouns have a plural forms like chairs, books. Uncountable nouns don't. You can use a or an with countable nouns. You cannot do that with uncountable nouns. Countable nouns can be used directly with numbers. Uncountable nouns need measurement phrases like a cup of, a piece of, a jar of, like that. Now let's focus on how to use article and quantity with countable nouns. For example, we say he ate an apple. That's one item. Next, they have 3 chairs. Numbers for countable nouns. Next, there are many sandwiches. Many is for countable nouns. Next, I have a few friends. A few means a small number, but it still means countable. She bought several pens. Several also means more than a few. And the last, and we asking, we say how many books do you read? We use how many with countable nouns. For uncountable nouns, we use different quantity word. The first example, there is not much sugar left. Much is used with uncountable nouns. Next, can I have little milk? A little means a small amount. Next, she gave me some advice. We use some when we don't say the exact amount. Next, how much money do you have? We ask how much for uncountable nouns. The last, we also use measurement phrases like a glass of water, a bowl of rice, or a piece of bread. Let's look more closely at some common measurement phrases we use with uncountable nouns. Example, a cup of tea. When talking about a drink. A piece of furniture, because furniture is uncountable. A bottle of oil. Oil is a liquid, uncountable. A slice of bread. You cannot count bread, but you can count slices. A jar of honey. Again, honey is uncountable. A bowl of soap. We measure soap in bowls. Alright, you did an amazing job learning about countable and uncountable nouns today. Remember, mastering these nouns will really help you speak and write English more confidently and clearly. If you ever get confused, just ask yourself, can I count this thing one by one? If yes, it's countable. If not, it's uncountable, and you might need to use a measurement word. Keep practicing by reading, listening, and trying to use this noun in your own sentence. The more you practice, the more easier it will become. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm back here as your tutor today in this lesson. I'm super proud of your effort and I cannot wait to see you improve even more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this lesson with your friend who wants to learn English too. And if you have any question, just leave a comment. I'm here to help you. Until next time, keep learning, keep smiling, and keep shining bright. See you soon. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.